Today in Draw My Life, the true story of Ladybug and Cat Noir. We know you're a fan of the truth, and even more so when it's related to scary events. I mean, what would Draw My Life be if we didn't tell you those stories that nobody wants you to know? So hit the subscribe button and sit tight because Ladybug and Cat Noir are not the cartoon everybody thinks. If there's one thing that the miraculous animators don't want you to know, it's how such the fantastic idea for their cartoons originated. Because not everything is as fun and happy as it seems. To understand what I mean, we have to go back to the origins of Marionette and Adrienne. Warning, they're pretty grotesque. The animators based their story in two roommates in a psychiatric hospital in the legendary French capital. According to what our informant tells us, Marionette had come to the facility after a judge decided that her serial murders were due to her declining mental state. Marinette, before being admitted to the hospital, was wanted by the Parisian police. The innocent looking girl had been responsible for more than 23 murders in the capital. All of them had the same terrifying characteristic, the purple stains on the corpses. Ever since she was a little girl, her mother had noticed that her daughter had a strange obsession with the ladybugs that sat on the window in her room. Marinette would admire them intensely, and then with her finger she would crush them, leaving small dots of blood that decorated her window frame. Her first victims were ladybugs, but as she got older, her victims also got bigger. First, it was a squirrel, then a dog, and finally, a human. Her obsession with blood grew and her thirst for killing followed her. Everything changed when she discovered on the internet an extremely strong poison that guaranteed a slow death to her victims. So many became her victim that this death became known as Ladybug's Kiss, because those who came across her were wrapped in this eternal kiss, a kiss with a lot of poison, that only with a slight contact paralyzed your body, leaving you to constant convulsions until all your blood coagulated, leaving hundreds of bruises all over your skin, like the spots that define a ladybug. After being imprisoned, she was placed in a psychiatric hospital. She had been diagnosed with severe schizophrenia, multiple personality disorder, psychosis, and depression. She spent the first few years of confinement alone, and some doctors noticed some improvement until her roommate, Adrian, arrived. Adrian had a similar background to Marinette, but was much older than her. He had been in the psychiatric facility for 10 years. This was the seventh time he had been moved from one room to another, as he had tried to murder all his fellow roommates during his psychotic attacks. He was known as the Black Cat and was responsible for more than 60 murders in France. None of the police who came across him survived to tell the story, except for the policeman who arrested him and the psychiatrist who treated him. He had a peculiar look. His eyes were yellow due to a kidney problem and chronic alcoholism. He showed himself to his victims in the darkness of the night, dressed in black. He would stab them, pull out their entrails, and then bury them. He would usually revisit their bodies until they decomposed. Some say the smell of decay calmed him, and that's how he was caught, sleeping on top of one of his corpses. In fact, if they had found him awake, they would have not been able to get him. When Adrian entered Marinette's room, the nurses were already alert, as he was showing the same psychotic patterns he had had with his previous partners. They could guess that he was planning Marinette's death. Vigilant, the nurses increased his dose of sedatives, which in turn made him hallucinate. Adrian spoke incoherently, and between some words, he could be heard saying hero and cat noir repeatedly. Words that had stuck in Marinette's subconscious and would later provoke strong and prolonged delusions in her schizophrenic episodes. Soon, the nurses noticed that the sheets of their beds were laid out and often found hanging around their necks like capes. They jumped from bed to bed, shouting incoherent ramblings that only in their hallucinations made sense. Adrian had found in Marinette a partner who understood him, even in his gory ways, and now he didn't feel alone in the world he had created. One day they decided that the time had come to seal their friendship. So to do so, Marinette and Adrienne waited until lunchtime to receive their meal. On the tray, they were served vegetables, potatoes, meat, and some fruit. Next to it was a can of soda that Adrian had earned for his good behavior. When they were handed their trays, Adrian quickly took the can, emptied it, and began to bend it until it broke. With a piece of metal, he began to cut into Marinette's back a symbol they had made up during their hallucinations. Once he finished, Marinette began to do the same with her partner. At the end of the lunch hour, the nurse returned and found a bloody room with the two friends laughing desperately. The nurse panicked and quickly ran to alert the doctor, who, along with other nurses, managed to tie them up and administer intravenous sedatives. The next few days, Marinette and Adrian were separated and under the effects of the strong sedatives. In their bed, they drooled, babbled incoherently, and occasionally peed themselves. After a few weeks apart, the friends were once again reunited in the room. Traumatized by the doctors' and nurses' treatment, they decided to never return to that world. So that night, while no one was monitoring them, they took their eyes out to remain in their fantasy. They were Ladybug and Cat Noir, the heroes of Paris. They caught the moral with their poison, unraveled them, and buried them. After, they would turn these criminals to the police. Did you know the terrifying story
I feel I am alive. caught on to something. And then, out of nowhere, I hear this loud bang. What the hell was that?
Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the scariest haunted places you've never heard of.
This is where satanic and witchcraft artifacts were found in the fireplace, where 10 possessions and exorcisms took place.
For this list, we'll be looking at the less traveled eerie sites around the world that are supposedly haunted. Which of these locations do you find the most fascinating? Let us know in the comments below. Number 10. Poveglia Island. This Italian island is ripped straight from a nightmare. Found in the Venetian lagoon between Venice and Lido, Poveglia has a heavy history with plague and disease.
How many people would you say were burned over there?
Hundreds of thousands of people.
From the mid-1700s to 1814, the island was used as a quarantine station to house the sick. Suffice to say, death ran rampant on the island, with so many isolated from society and their loved ones.
During the 17th century, in order to let the people live here for the 40 days, in order to control them if they were killed by the plague or not.
The island would later be converted into a mental hospital, which was also eventually closed. It now sits abandoned, and that certainly ups the creepiness. Put simply, Poveglia has housed centuries worth of torment, sickness, and death, which has turned it into a hotspot for paranormal activity.
I hear footsteps, bro. Hold on. Put your light case in.
Number 9. D'Souza Chawl. Mumbai, India is the D'Souza Chawl. A chawl is a type of low-income residence, and the D'Souza location is said to be one of the most haunted areas. The chawl is home to an unguarded well, and legend has it that a resident of the area fell into the well and died a slow, painful death. Locals now report seeing her spirit wandering around the chawl, though most claim that she is harmless. Regardless, many people still avoid the area at night, terrified of the woman's wandering spirit. Number 8. Al Jazeera Al Hamra.
Walking through here, it's completely and utterly desolate. There's literally no signs of life.
Found in the northeastern tip of the United Arab Emirates is the abandoned ghost town of Al Jazeera Al Hamra. The town was home to hundreds of pearl fishers in the early 1800s, and it grew in size throughout the years. However, the pearl market collapsed in the 1920s, and the town was largely abandoned in 1968, when most of the residents agreed to relocate to Abu Dhabi.
It's crazy to think that this porch used to be someone's house and people used to live in. It just seems like everyone just abandoned everything overnight.
It remains as such to this day, and the eerie atmosphere has given rise to numerous ghost stories. It is said that the deserted town is populated not by humans, but by spirits known as jinns.
Jinn, I have freed thee, and as of this day, I am thy lord.
Number 7. Ancient Ram Inn. It's amazing what types of buildings you can find in England. Nestled in the small English market town of Wanton-under-Edge is the ancient Ram Inn, a building that was constructed all the way back in the 12th century.
The history of the ancient ram is that it was built on a pagan worshipping site.
It was originally built to house the construction company that was building the local church, and it later became an inn and pub. The building is extraordinarily old, and it definitely looks it. Of course, this only lends to the unsettling atmosphere of the area.
We walked out to the stairs, point blank on the stairs, there it was.
The incubus.
Incubus. That was the most terrifying thing we've seen.
You think we might be up against the incubus tonight?
Definitely.
Those who religiously consume investigative paranormal shows might recognize the ancient Ram Inn, since it has been featured on the likes of Ghost Adventures and Most Haunted.
John thinks that he felt some kind of a possession and I got that extreme pressure in my head.
Well, we're ready to see just how evil you are.
Number 6. Red Onion Saloon.
Towards your feeling of actual curious. Follow us up the stairway to heaven. Let's go do it.
Those who wish to experience a genuine Wild West saloon should make their way to Alaska? Yup, Skagway to be exact.
Here's a 6-shooter. You'll be wanting the senorita pistols as well? Everything. House policy.
A small borough of about 1,200 people, Skagway is a hot tourist attraction in the summer, and everybody flocks to the town's Red Onion Saloon. This saloon was built in 1897 when Skagway was in the midst of a gold rush. Nowadays, tourists report smelling women's perfume wafting through the halls, perhaps a remembrance of the building's time as a bordello.
No, we are no longer a bordello. Think of it more as a social club.
Others claim that the building is haunted by the spirit of a former madam named Lydia. Number 5. Wolfegg Castle.
Old buildings are never good. Haunted castle. Okay.
This is an old Gothic castle found in Bavaria, dated to the mid to late 13th century. Eventually, the castle tragically fell into disrepair, but it underwent significant renovations throughout the late 80s that restored it to its former glory, and it is now open for tourism. Wolfegg Castle is said to be haunted by the ghost of Clara von Helfenstein. The rather historically inaccurate legend says that Clara was killed by her husband after he discovered her sleeping with his nemesis. A cave is also located beneath the castle, and people reportedly hear strange noises coming from underneath its floors. Noises from the dark depths of a cave. Anyone else have chills? Number 4. Dao Dan Park. Found in Vietnam's Ho Chi Minh City is Dao Dan Park, a popular destination for residents and tourists alike. The park has a long history with the nearby Reunification Palace, having once been part of its grounds. Work on the area continued well into the 20th century, complete with major additions like a pool and tennis court. The area was finally given over to Vietnam when French forces withdrew from the country in 1954, and it became known as Dao Dan Park. There are now reports that the area is haunted. It's said that the ghost of a lovesick man wanders the park at night and frightens the locals.
I love you, Molly. I've always loved you.
Number 3. St. Augustine Lighthouse. Lighthouses are just naturally creepy places, and they lend themselves very well to ghost stories. The St. Augustine Lighthouse is found on Florida's Anastasia Island, just to the east of St. Augustine. This is an active lighthouse and was built throughout the early 1870s. It's a beautiful location, but it also harbors some dark secrets. The lighthouse has long been known for its supernatural activity, and it's been investigated by numerous ghost hunters and paranormal programs.
Just let us know who's here with us. Where's that noise coming from?
The lighthouse itself also functions as a museum and offers ghost tours to the public. At least they're capitalizing on their reputation.
There's definitely some activity, something's tripping that up. Something's setting that off.
Can you make our little gadget?
Right on cue.
Right on cue.
Number 2, Lepp Castle. Like lighthouses, castles just have a creepy aura about them. They're cold, old, and expansive, and they often have long histories of violence. Lepp Castle is found in central Ireland, and it was significantly destroyed in 1922 in the midst of the Irish Civil War. During renovations, workers discovered a dungeon containing 3 cartloads worth of human skeletons that had been impaled on wooden spikes. Unsurprisingly, Lepp is the self-described world's most haunted castle.
Well, there are many spirits in the house, yeah. They've never interfered or made life difficult in any way other than they let us know.
It is said to contain a spirit that smells like a decaying corpse, 2 ghost girls named Charlotte and Emily, and a mysterious red lady who walks the castle with a dagger.
We call her the governess, and she's usually around as well. And there are 2 little girls that play around here that we meet a lot, and she's always with them, and we have a feeling she had something to do with them.
Put simply, you don't want to be in here alone.
Hello, Danny.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Lawang Sewu.
Chika! Chika, lang mo masuk ke dalam, Cik!
Derived from the Javanese phrase for 1,000 doors, Lawang Sewu, located in Java, Indonesia, once served as the head during World War II. They took over Lawang Sewu and used its basement as a torture dungeon and execution chamber. Unsurprisingly, the building quickly earned a reputation and has long been thought of as a source of paranormal phenomena. Even Indonesia's Ministry of Tourism recognizes it as one of the country's most haunted locations.
Are you insane like, in pain like? Oh, why, keep you from your bed and pain. You just wanna step again, I can't believe it. You never knew your mind was right. Are you insane like, in pain like? Never wanted to play by all the rules. And if in hand I'm cleaning up the part of the pool. Here we go, you can judge me thoroughly. You don't need to put apologies. Go ahead and just hit me since you're able. We know my determination isn't stable. I'm not in run, better run, yeah, I'm coming after you. When you sleep, midnight, yeah, there's nothing you can do. There's no place you can hide, cause I'm coming after you. I wish it wasn't not the way take you in advance. I don't wanna dance. I don't need your hands all over me. Call me beautiful. I think it's time that you sit down. Yeah. Because you're better than me. Damn right. Look down. You're talking to your highness. Give me all the reason for your kindness. Telling me you're the broken one, but I'm the only one who needed I'm bigger than my body. I'm colder than this home. I'm meaner than my demons. I'm bigger than the above. Not in the state for 5 years. Guess that's why my feet hurt. Wonder when they dice me. Do these bitches keep hurt? Yes, I am an icon. Got me on your t-shirt. Thought you knew better. Do your fucking research. A waste of life.
Why, hello there, loyal viewers. Triple Jump here. Are you sick and tired of getting a restful night's sleep? Have you had enough of not feeling constantly pairs of unruined underpants? Well, my lucky, I have the solution for you. The entries on this list. That's right. For the low price of whatever these titles cost in this sale, you too can say goodbye to feeling safe in your own home. Farewell to not weeing yourself to sleep at night. For those of you who aren't already doing that. So get your sofa cushions at the ready, folks, because we're about to take a fear-inducing stroll through the terrifying depths of horror gaming to uncover the titles that are so scary even we couldn't make it all the way through to the end. I hope you have your brown trousers on, because I'm Peter from Triple Jump, and here are 10 horror games so terrifying we can finish them. Number 10, Amnesia: The Dark Descent. Let's be honest, you all knew this one was going on here, so we might as well get it out of the way early. Set in 1830s Prussia, Amnesia: The Dark Descent places you in the shoes of protagonist Daniel, a lovely young chap from London who awaits in a big, scary castle to find that he has no memory of anything except for his name, that he lives in Mayfair. I've got a hotel on there, you know. I think you owe me £2,000. Sorry. Another small thing, you're being hunted by some ungodly entity that manifests itself as a parade of abominations hell-bent on separating you from this mortal coil. What makes Amnesia so darn terrifying, however, is the player's inability to fight back against these slack-jawed monstrosities. Granted, you can hide and sneak about, but if these fellas get it's game over. Add into the mix a chilling soundtrack and thick setting, up with an atmosphere of sheer dread that would put the willies up the best of us. Not in a good way. 9. Project 03. Released on the PS2 back in 2005 by the good people at Tecmo, and known to the rest of the world as Fatal Frame 3, because we just have to be different here in Europe, don't we? Project Zero, her late fiancé. This fiancé was killed in a car crash that is heavily implied to be Ray's fault, and we're struggling to find a joke to lighten the mood, so let's move on. As if that isn't dark enough, she's also cursed by a spirit that causes terrifying nightmares of a haunted manor house, whose inhabitants sadly do not have the warm, approachable cast with a friend ghost. Armed with only a camera, Ray must traverse the dream manor each night while she sleeps to uncover the reason for her curse and ultimately figure out how to break it. Without relying on cheap scares, Project 03 manages to keep the player thoroughly creeped out throughout its admittedly short run, capturing a spooky and tense atmosphere, all while delivering a story that will truly get under your skin. Number 8, Alien Isolation. Although over 40 years old, the original Alien and its sequel Aliens are still widely regarded as some of the finest examples of horror filmmaking, which is why Alien Isolation had an awful lot of work to do to make up the absolute mick take that was Aliens Colonial Marines.
If you look at them just with their arms out, oh, it's a little hop, little air stick.
But oh boy, did it redeem the franchise in style. Because if Alien Isolation didn't have you plopping your throughout, then I can only assume you're some sort of actual psychopath. Playing as Amanda Ripley, daughter of horror icon and general badass Ellen, you're part of a team charged with retrieving the flight recorder from the Nostromo in order to find out exactly what happened after the events of the first. Crew is back home in time for afternoon tea. Sarcasm aside, Alien Isolation is a massive in building suspense and tension, invoking terror in the player by creating a consistently uncomfortable atmosphere. The xenomorph could literally be anywhere. Is he around this corner? Under this table? In this fridge? Who knows? Certainly not me. And also not you until it's too late. Sorry about that. Number 7, Haunting Ground. Another entry here from our friends in Japan. Gosh, it's almost like they're really good at horror media or something. And I'll be honest, this game has been included in this list simply because the enemies are a veritable conga line of creepy dudes with weird aspirations. Awakening after a car accident, yeah, another one, in an unlocked cage wrapped only in a sheet, you play as Fiona, a young woman who must work out where she is, why the heck she's there, and how on earth she's going to get out. The other inhabitants, on the other hand, have other ideas. General spooky atmosphere aside, you can look forward to meeting the likes of Debilitas, the giant groundskeeper who thinks you're one of his dolls, Daniela, the maid who's jealous of your ability to experience pleasure, and Ricardo, a villain with the face of your dead dad who plans to use you to bring about his own rebirth so that he can be immortal. That's a whole lot of nope from me. Thank you.
No.
You do, however, get to befriend a rather cute tail wagger along the way, which provides some light relief, and we were actually able to make it slightly further through this one purely because he's such a good boy. Still, not all the way through though, not after the whole rebirthing your dead dad thing. Oh, no thanks. Number 6, Soma. For the same reason that the thought of being confined in outer space scares the pants off us, so does the thought of being trapped underwater. What's worse than being trapped underwater, though, is being stuck in a research facility knowing that you're among a handful of the last surviving human beings on the planet. Throw into the mix a bunch of hulking enemies, and the discovery that your body actually died up on the surface and that your consciousness has been transplanted into the corpse of one of the fallen researchers, and you've got a recipe for a weekend you'd probably rather forget. Whilst it nails all the horror basics, you know, atmospheric terror, puzzles, big creepy monsters, and so on, what Soma really lands is its particular brand of isolation. That feeling when your colleagues are the last of mankind. You're all alone down there at the bottom of the ocean, and one is coming to save you from this nightmare. And that, dear viewers, is where true terror lies. Number 5. On there at the bottom of the ocean, and no one is coming to save you from this nightmare. And that, dear viewers, is where true terror lies. Number 5, Eternal.
This happened to me when I was 10 years old. I was going to my This happened to me when I was 10 years old. I was going to my aunt's house. On my way, I came across a park and I saw a girl sitting on a swing staring at me. I ignored it. After I reached, me and my aunt went to the elevator because my aunt lived in an apartment which was on the top floor. We took the elevator. Suddenly, the lights went off. We were standing still when I saw the same girl flashing and coming closer to me. I got scared, but I ignored it, thinking I was just hallucinating. A few hours later, it was around midnight. I was on my phone and everyone was sleeping, so I decided to go to sleep. But just then, I heard a voice. The voice was of a girl saying, "Follow me, Taylor." It scared me, but I decided to follow it. I couldn't see anything, but only hear her voice. After some time, the voice stopped and said, "One more step." As I was about to take one step forward, someone pulled me. When I woke up, I saw that I was lying on the floor very close to the balcony railing, and my head was bleeding as I had fallen directly on my head. And then I rushed back to my aunt, woke her up, and told her everything. She didn't believe anything I said and sent me home. After that, I returned home and started reading the news, and I saw something very horrifying. I saw a girl who was very similar to the girl in the swing, and that's when I remembered that I had gone to the park just a few days ago with my friends to play, and there were people gathered around, and they had told us to go home because there had been an accident near the swing. After reading deeper, I found that the kids who had gone to the park had also heard the same voice, and some of them had even died. After that day, I couldn't stop thinking about what would have happened if someone hadn't.
This is going to be so good. Need to be quiet. Brains! Brains! Huh? Brains? Brains! Whoa! Just me! You were so happy Halloween! Any room for a witch? Come on in. Yes. If you let me in, I thought you'd look so nice. Well, what are you, a scary strawberry? No, you can't come in. That's fair. Are you okay? Look at this. My boss will be mad. Sorry, let me help. Oh, hey, these nails could be useful. Can I have them? Sure. Take facing. Then stick some tissue paper to it. Then cover it all with more face paint. Carefully cut a hole where your mouth is. Use black face to color your lips. No scary costume would be complete without blood. And gently push the nails through the tissue paper. And a simple, scary costume. time to go to the nightclub. Can I come in now?
Hey, what did I tell?
Mommy! I guess I can go in. Candy. Ooh, I haven't been to this house yet. Trick or treat! Halloween is for kids. Okay, fine. A nice, healthy treat. A carrot? You're supposed to give me candy or chocolate. Something not like this. Not vegetables. Ugh. Stupid lettuce. Take that. Ha, have fun picking up this mess. What's all the noise out here? My yard! I know how to teach him a lesson. First, I need some medical tape. Place it over your face, leaving holes for your eyes. Place some tape-covered card over your eyes. Add some more to your forehead and lips, making sure there is a mouth hole. Color with face paint. Color the eyes and mouth with add the finishing touches and a terrifying scarecrow. Ooh, wait a minute. Candy! Delicious chewy candy! Wait. Nah, a few more bars. Enough. Trick or treat. You forgot your candy. This is so relaxing. A cute little pumpkin. What was that? Probably nothing. Hello? Who's there? Got you! That was so funny. That's not cool. Aha! I need a ball of Play-Doh. Shape it around my finger. Use some fresh colored paint to blend it in. Carefully make a small cut in the Play-Doh. Add some fake blood. Haha! A horrible, gory finger. Perfect. Time to work out. This is too easy. Womp womp. Better watch out for monsters. But in one, 1002. My finger! Ah! Your finger! Oh, it's so sore. Help me, please. Don't panic. I know first aid. Okay, I'm here to help. What the? It's fake. Fool you even. That's funny.
Yeah.
Amanda the doll. This doll, crafted by Heinrich Huntbeck in 1884, is known for strange things happening around her. First sold on eBay in 2003, Amanda has allegedly been put back on the auction block on more than 20 occasions. Each of her owners kept claiming the doll had been the cause of weird occurrences while they had her. There have been reports of Amanda moving rooms, causing nightmares, and even scratching her victims while they sleep. Her seemingly innocent face has been known to shift to an evil grin when she's in tormentor mode. Her activities even earned her a place in John Harker's True Tales trilogy, nightmarish accounts of paranormal activity. Number 9. Caroline. Caroline comes from an antique shop in Salem, Massachusetts. This doll is believed to be inhabited by not one, but 3 spirits, all battling for control over her. The subject of frequent paranormal investigations, it's believed that the spirits possessing Caroline were her owners themselves. She's also a prankster, known for playing tricks on her owners. She'll hide books, move objects, and even whisper in your ear if you hold her close. A previous owner allegedly claimed Caroline whispered, "Make it you," in his ear, which he interpreted to mean good luck. Not known to be a malicious spirit, Caroline hasn't been seen since she was last investigated in 2004. Number 8. The Susie Doll. From the case files of Lorraine Warren, meet the Susie Doll. Susie was given to young Heather Platt as a birthday present made by her Aunt Robin. That night, Heather's parents were awakened by the sound of growling and a dark shadow that seemed to come down the street into their home. After that, Susie was known to move about the house on her own, move objects around the kitchen that were too heavy for the children, and pull the hair out of the sleeping kids' heads. By the time Lorraine Warren arrived, it took an exorcism to get the doll out of the house for good. Number 7. Old Man Puppet. This puppet came into the hands of paranormal investigator Jane Harris when its previous owner claimed the doll had choked him. The puppet was inherited by the man, who claimed to have left the puppet in a drawer by his bed when he awoke to his throat being throttled by tiny puppet hands. In addition, in case of any suspect behavior, night vision footage showed the puppet moving inside its sealed glass case, confirming suspicions that the puppet is possessed. On the web, when the Elmo Knows Your Name doll started making death threats to their son.
James? James?
Melissa Bowman, mother of 2 years on the web, when the Elmo Knows Your Name. Number 6. Elmo. Yep, even Elmo dolls have been shown to have a dark side. In 2008, a Florida family made the news and made waves around the web when the Elmo Knows Your Name doll started making death threats to their son.
James? James?
Melissa Bowman, mother of 2-year-old James, overheard the doll say "kill James" while her son was playing with the doll. Though this version of Elmo is able to be programmed to remember your kid's name, James's doll didn't start spouting threats until he got his batteries changed. Fisher-Price launched an investigation and offered the family a voucher for another Elmo doll. Number 5. The Devil Baby Doll. 19th century New Orleans birthed many stories of spells and curses, and one such curse supposedly brought about the Devil Baby dolls. A bride cursed by the Queen of Voodoo, Marie Laveau, was said to have given birth to a devil child, spawned by Satan himself. In an effort to protect themselves, Creoles carved devil babies, hanging them in their homes as protection. In recent years, local artist Ricardo Castano took the last pieces of the one remaining doll and recreated the devil baby, as well as replicas. These dolls have been known to rustle and whisper when they're all together, move by themselves, turn over ashtrays, and cry when they're apart. Number 4. The Pulau Ubin Barbie. In Singapore, Barbie is visited regularly so that the spirit of a young girl can grant health and fortune. The story goes that in 19
says that her great-grandmother was given a doll named Jolie. She was pregnant. She gave birth to a son who died when he was 3 days old. It's been said that the doll captures the souls of the boys in the family and they can be made free on Judgment Day, but in order to protect them, days old. According to this story, a woman called Anna G is the latest in a line of women who have been hit by a curse. It is said that each woman of the family will have 2 children, a boy and a girl. It is one day and made a video to try to convince skeptics. Jane from Sturbridge, UK, was told that an innocuous-looking puppet had tried to strangle its owner as he lay in bed one night. She took on the doll, which looks like an elderly Victorian gentleman with white hair, glasses, and a velvet waistcoat, and put it in her basement. She then focused a camera on it. Then she left it for 3 months. When she came back to it, she got something that was definitely really spooky. The puppet was kept locked inside a glass case, but her recording found that the doll had sat up and slowly moved its operating cross until it sat up. There was no way it could have been manipulated, Jane said. She said she had never seen anything as exciting as this. We think the best word is scary. Joliet, the Soul Collector. This next toy is one of the more mysterious ones. In fact, there's so much that we don't know about it. However, it's certainly worth taking a look at, if you dare, of course. According to Hit by a Curse, it is said that each woman of the family will have 2 children, a boy and a girl. Then it is said that the son will die when he is just 3 days old. Anna says that her great-grandmother was given a doll named Joliet when she was pregnant. She gave birth to a son who died when he was 3 days old. It's been said that the doll captures the souls of the boys in the family and can be heard crying. The souls are cursed to stay inside the doll until they can be made free on Judgment Day. But in order to protect them, Joliet has to be looked after by the women who have to care for it like they would do their own children. It's pretty scary. But we have some questions, such as where are the family from? Why was the doll cursed? And have they ever tried to have more than 2 children? It's certainly a bit bewildering, and it opens up a lot of questions. It's still very spooky, though. Is it the bear or the house that's haunted? Now, this is a pretty spooky sort of video, but while we think something in it is haunted, we don't know what. You see, the film shows a white teddy bear left alone on some stairs. It's just sat there with nothing next to it to disturb it next to a toy car. But you see the bear move to its side like it is falling down. Then you see that the little toy car then goes down the stairs too. We're pretty baffled by what is going on there. Is the bear possessed by something? That's certainly feasible, but what about the car? Again, it could happen. But here is another idea. What if it's the house itself that is haunted? If it is, then we are dealing with a very specific sort of ghost. That sort of ghost is called a poltergeist. A poltergeist is a spirit that has the power to move things. The name is kind of a giveaway. Poltern is German for cause a disturbance, while Geist is German for spirit. They are often believed to be the spirits who are angry because they belong to people who died young. But we hope that you aren't going to encounter any malicious ghosts. By the way, did you know that teddies are named in honor of former American President Theodore Roosevelt? He was a renowned hunter who spared the life of a baby bear, and so the toys are named after him. Pennywise in doll form? Anyone who's seen it will know that clowns are just inherently spooky. Whether it's the 1990 miniseries or the 2017 hit horror movie, Pennywise the Dancing Clown is one of the scariest characters in popular culture. So whoever came up with this doll, well, it's pretty horrifying. We have no idea whether it's actually haunted or not, but we can't think anyone would have actually designed this. It's something we can't really think is exactly suitable for children. Just look at it. It actually looks like a miniature version of Pennywise. It's got the jagged teeth, it's got the white makeup, and it's got the shock of red hair. Just looking at it gives us the shivers. We are worried that it is going to invite us down to the sewers so it can feed off our greatest fears. By the way, did you know that Stephen King created Pennywise as an update of the classic children's story, The Billy Goat's Gruff? That's right, the scary clown creature is a modern update of the troll, and rather than cross the bridge, the children walk above the sewers. The author says that he was also inspired by the library in Stratford, Connecticut. There was a corridor between the adults and children's section, which reminded him of the bridge. But what we'd like to know is who you think the scariest horror character is. And that's all for our 10 haunted toys caught on camera. If you liked it, be sure to check out 10 amazing pictures
What culture? Humans have had the ability to record sound for over 150 years, and here in the modern age we use it for absolutely everything, from radio to music to leaving awkward messages on strangers' answer phones. However, throughout time there have been reports of odd ghosts on the machine and some truly creepy and terrifying audio recordings out there. From horrific phone messages left by serial killers to terrifying recordings taking place in the middle of disaster zones. Each of these entries are as fascinating as they are terrifying. Please note that some of these recordings contain extremely disturbing content, so the faint of heart and easily scared should proceed with caution. I'm Cal from WhatCulture.com, and this is 10 creepiest audio recordings ever made. Number 10. Chimpanzee attack 911 call. In this call, the woman is hysterical, and rightfully so. After seeing her pet chimpanzee attack and begin eating the face of her friend, within the call you can hear the chimpanzee call out, and the woman distressfully begs for the police to shoot and bring her chimp to a permanent end. After, in her words, he's pulled her apart and now eating her.
Send the police!
What's the problem there?
The chimp killed my friend!
What's the problem with your friend? I need to know.
The police come! With a gun! With a gun! He ripped her face off!
He ripped her face off?
This call is one of the main pieces of evidence for prevention of domesticating apes. Number 9. The sound of Saturn. This audio recording is totally otherworldly, taken from the planet Saturn. These sounds come from the intense radio emissions where the magnetic field lines thread the polar region, sounding much like something from a 50s sci-fi film. It floats from eerie to pretty damn cool all the way through. Number 8. Bigfoot 911 call. This audio recording is taken from a genuine 911 call made in 1990 by a Washington man. In the call, he claims that there's a human at an incredible 6 foot 9 inches. Creepiest of all, the being then apparently stands and stares at the man while he makes the call. You can hear the panic and cold sweat come over the man while he's making the call, which makes it our number 8.
Jesus Christ, you better... Sure. See ya.
Hello?
Get somebody out here.
What's going on now, sir?
That son of a is about 6 foot 9, I don't know.
Do you see him now, sir?
Yes, I'm looking right at him.
Uh-oh. Okay, hang on.
He's right...
Is he in your yard, sir?
Yeah, God, he's big.
Okay, what's he doing in your yard?
He's looking at me.
Number 7. First known recording of a human voice. In what should be the recording of a momentous occurrence in our history, this is the first known recording of a human voice, dating all the way back to 1860. While it's fascinating to hear the audio of someone from so long ago, in today's standards of recording, it's also absolutely terrifying and creepy thanks to the unnerving sound quality. Number 6. Sounds of a hurricane. This particular recording was made inside the Galveston St. Louis Resort Hotel in Texas as Hurricane Ike passed straight through it. The sound of the wind is absolutely awesome, with it almost sounding like a train coming straight for you. In what sounds unequivocally like the end of the world, this recording reveals what it sounds like to be in a building while a violent hurricane takes place outside. Number 5. The original Night Stalker. The original Night Stalker is the name given to the unidentified serial killer that murdered at least 10 people between the years 1979 and 1986 in South California. This is the audio recording and the message left on one of the victim's answer phone messages, which police have been given to believe is the true voice of the mysterious Night Stalker. Although disturbing, it's almost a stereotypical movie call from a serial killer, but it is in fact a true call that makes it even more unnerving. Number 4. Aztec Death Whistle. This piece of audio depicts a reconstruction of what a variety of Aztec whistles sounded like. First, and the most chilling, has been nicknamed the Whistles of Death, as they are believed to have been played shortly before a victim was sacrificed to the gods. It's assumed that this is the very last noise heard by untold thousands of victims. What's most creepy is that these whistles sound spookily like screams. Number 3. The Bloop. Possibly the most famous of deep-sea recordings, the bloop has long mystified scientists and its true origins. The noise, along with several other bloops, is the loudest sound to be recorded in Earth's oceans. Hypotheses of the bloop's origins have ranged from carving icebergs to unimaginably huge creatures lurking in the depths of the ocean. Either that, or a diver had wind. Number 2. The last transmissions of Vladimir Komarov. Vladimir Komarov was sure that he was not going to survive his journey into orbit. The space vehicle was shoddily constructed and untested, and Komarov knew it wasn't ready yet, but was more like a soapbox derby car than a space shuttle. However, he chose to go anyway, as it would have been his best friend Yuri Gagarin that was the backup pilot and would have had to go in his place. Number 1. 9/11 Kevin Cosgrove 911 call. On September the 11th, 2001, the world stood in silence as the Twin Towers came falling to earth, taking hundreds of lives in one of the most devastating terrorist attacks in history. This chilling audio recorded from a 911 call gives a horrifying insight to the final moments of the World Trade Center office workers. The call, made by business executive Kevin Cosgrove, took place just minutes before the first tower collapse, and it's truly, truly horrifying.
Smoke, right there, 105, 2 power. All right, sit tight. We'll get to you as soon as we can. There's some stand up. The smoke's really bad, man. I barely leave. That's all we can do. Where are you? What are you guys up to? We're getting there. Doesn't feel like it, man. I got young kids. I understand that, sir. Well, hey, we're looking at financial center. 3 of us, 2 broken windows. Oh, God!
What's the eeriest piece of audio you've ever heard? Let us know in the comments below. I've been Cal from What Culture. You can follow me on Twitter here, and don't forget
So for today's drink,
Now, you're not going to want to miss any of this video because there are parts throughout the entire video that show visuals of I can't explain, he can't explain. There's audio of noises from something.
Eric!
What is that? That sound. Back over there.
That used to be the trail right there. That's the trail it's supposed to take.
We have a lot of bones. A lot of hair. I would say these are probably from deer. Several of them. Ripped apart. Looks like they're ripped apart pretty good. So after seeing the bones and everything, we decided to continue down to the cave, the Hozak's cave. We had gotten permission to be able to actually fly a drone out at the park as long as we stayed away from any of the public areas like the lodge or cabins or even the campgrounds. And the sounds that you're going to hear next are absolutely bone chilling. Of the sounds of the leaves rustling, that's us moving around trying to pinpoint the exact location where the sounds are coming from. at this point, I decided to take the drone up. I adjusted the settings on the camera to make the lights light and the darks really dark, to try to get anything to stand out. So the picture's not that pretty, but we're trying to pinpoint sounds, see if we can see anything at all. And we actually do, and we're going to slow it down and show it a couple times. And I don't know, you guys be the judge of it. As you can see here, clouds have really thickened up and snow's on its way. So I want to hurry up and try to land the drone so it doesn't get caught up in the snow, because it's not waterproof. And we're gonna hike back to where we think we saw something and see if we can't catch it on, our actual cameras up close.
shot. He's right behind that tree. The big one. Look. There his hair's gray and black. Is that gray? Is that snow? That's not snow. It's gray. Brown and gray. Can't tell.
Are we still be?
with no parachute. You know I'm dreaming about us too. Playing around without a clue. Only asking out. With us it's all or nothing. Oh, but guess I need more of you. With us it's all or nothing. But guess I need more of you. You say it through the night, but in the morning you're just sleep. With us it's all or nothing. Oh, but guess I need more of you. With us it's all or nothing. But guess I need more of you. Say it through the night, but in the morning you're just sleep. What you're all about, the way you hold my body tight, saying I'm talking through the night. Yeah, I know they just don't. With us, it's all or nothing. Oh, but guess I need more of you. With us, it's all or nothing. But guess I need more of you. You say it through the night, but in the morning you just sleep. I need more of. With us it's all or nothing. Oh, but guess I need more of you. Why don't you stay? Why don't we talk about this? Why don't you stay? Why don't we talk about this? With us it's all or nothing. Oh, but guess I need more of you. With us it's all or nothing. But guess I need more of you. You say it through the night, but in the morning you just sleep. With us it's all or nothing. With us it's all or nothing. Oh, but guess I need more of you. With us.
I want you to know that even though this love of ours might not have lasted, I would still walk with you to the end of the world, and then past it.
No como porquerías.
Ay, porquerías, ¿por qué? ¿Porquería yo?
Con flores, te llevaste mi tristeza con colores.
If I can't have you, no one can.
Jane.
¿Qué carajos quieres?
Uy, perdón.
Ve al punto, mapache. ¿Por qué me hablaste?
Bueno, me enteré que estaba saliendo con alguien. ¿Es verdad eso?
¿Y a ti qué te importa? Después de todo lo que ha pasado, tengo derecho de renovar mi vida. No veo que hayas empezado tú.
¿Y quién dice que no la empecé?
A ver, señorito de la sonrisa perfecta, dame pruebas para creerte.
Pues se llama Nina y estamos saliendo.
Ay, por favor, ¿en serio ella?
Sí, ¿estás celosa?
¿Celosa por ella? Sí, claro.
Lo lamento, señorita Jane, pero yo no soy nada tuyo.
¿Y yo para qué quisiera andar contigo?
I was 22 years old, attending a Halloween party at my former best friend Nick's house, who died of a heroin overdose in 2013. Before his death, he would throw big Halloween parties every year at his house, as his parents routinely flew to New York every year to attend their own friend's party. He was always a big Halloween freak, so the whole house was littered with truly horrifying props that we all knew Nick spent way too much money on. He even put up giant walls of cardboard and covered them with wallpapers to create a haunted maze of sorts. I want to keep this story PG-13 rated, so I'll skip the weed, beer, LSD, and sex and get right to the part where things got bad. I'll admit, we weren't in our right minds. None of us were. Anyone who came to Nick's parties knew what went down. Me, Nick, and a few other guys, Vinny G, Joey, and Q, were upstairs in Nick's room smoking a bong when we heard two steady, loud bangs come from downstairs. Nick clumsily but panickingly rushed to open the door and see what was going on. There were sounds of screaming of both guys and girls. I remember quite clearly it sounded as if there were a crowd of people screaming for their lives down there. We all called Nick to come back in and shut the door. Even under the influence of drugs, we all knew what was going on. Nick ran back inside and shut the door quickly but also quietly, locking it behind him. He turned to us and had on the facial expression of someone who had just witnessed murder. "What did you see? What's going on?" we all shouted at him. He told us to hide before anything else. We all knew why. From that point on, we didn't ask questions. Nick hid the lights and hid in the closet with Joey, while I hid under the bed with Q, and Vinny G hid in the storage box. We could hear the blasting music from downstairs turn off, followed by a grown man screaming at everyone to shut up. One unfortunate girl let out a scream of shock and fear, and after another bang, silence. The man started shouting at everyone again, but personally I couldn't hear it too well, and I certainly as hell wouldn't remember exactly what he was shouting. We heard two other men shouting. By now there were a confirmed 3 intruders in the house, but there could have been more for all we knew at that point. We heard the sound of boots stomping up the stairs and then coming halfway down the hall and stopping outside the bedroom door. The intruder on the other side of the door tried the doorknob, but when he realized it was locked, he started ramming into the door with most likely his shoulder. After a few failed attempts at that, the sound of a few shots to the doorknob were clearly enough to break the lock, allowing the door to swing open. We heard cries from downstairs after the shots to the doorknob, followed by silence and gunshot. Me and Nick had our hands on our mouths to shield our breathing noises. I watched through the transparent cloth that hung from the bottom of Nick's bed as the black boots with overlapping ripping denim jeans moved instinctively to the closet. He opened the door. I could hear Nick begging for the intruder not to kill him, offering a generous amount of money if they would leave. Nick gave himself up as the house owner. That's when the intruder ordered him downstairs. The rest of us stayed put. Apparently Joey hadn't been caught with Nick. We stayed under the bed, shaking and afraid. There was near silence from downstairs, other than Nick talking with the intruders, but whatever they were saying was much too low for us to hear. It felt like a near 20 minutes before the front door slammed shut and Nick came running back upstairs to tell us that they were gone. I think the most horrifying moment of my life was when I stepped downstairs back into the living room and saw the 2 dead bodies laying lifelessly on the ground, holes in their heads spewing out blood. Jen and Robbie, 2 good friends that I still miss. I'll spare you the details of what happened when the police arrived, but despite the fact that the house smelled like a marijuana greenhouse, the police were more interested in finding out who the masked men were that killed 2 innocent college students. Oh yeah, Nicky told the 4 of us who were hiding in his room that there were 4 intruders in total, all wearing fedoras, vendetta masks, coats, and gloves. They demanded $100,000 in cash, and when Nick could not provide it, they demanded he fill their empty sack with his most valued possessions. All the partygoers held hostage in the room were also forced to throw their wallets into the sack or they would be shot. After the incident, Nick became depressed. He started drinking too much, becoming an alcoholic. He stopped showing up to school and ultimately ended up dropping out. He started the use of heavier drugs, such as meth and heroin. I had one good talk with him since the incident, and he was more real during this talk than he had ever been. He told me, with tears rolling down his cheeks and a pipe in his hand, he lived in constant pain, knowing he caused the death of 2 of his best friends. Nick died of a heroin overdose in July of 2013, not even a year after the incident. It was my first Halloween living in my own house away from my parents. I live in a small corner house with a basement but no upstairs, a house my parents paid half for. It was 11 o'clock at night. I was sitting in the living room watching scary Halloween movies when I found myself getting up to answer a knock at the door. But then I stopped and thought, who could be at the door at 11 p.m.? Surely there were no more trick-or-treaters out. I had a pretty good feeling it was a late-night Halloween ding-dong-ditcher, so I gave it a second. Then I shot a glance to the porch through the window. They were gone already. Yup, ding-dong-ditchers. I sat back down, not thinking twice about it, and again, knocking at the front door. Lost, I yelled. I was not in the mood for punky kids. They ignored my demands and started pounding now, not just knocking. I was pissed now. I leaped up and swung the door open. No one was there once again. I slipped on my shoes and headed outside to begin searching the bushes for the kids, but there was nobody in sight. Not in the bushes, not behind my car, not across the street. I was done answering. I didn't want to feed into their fun anymore, so I went back inside, double-locked the door, and went to my bedroom, also locking that door, just to feel safer, I guess. Even over the TV, I could still hear the stupid kids pounding on my front door repeatedly. I was so close to calling the cops to get them away, but that would undoubtedly lead to my house being egged or teepeed. The pounding continued for an uncomfortably long time, more than half an hour. I thought these kids must be filming something for YouTube and were desperate for a reaction, but I wasn't going to give it to them. At some point I dozed off with the TV on, only to wake up to the knocking again. I looked at the clock. It was 2 in the fucking morning. How could those kids still be at it, I thought. I turned the TV off and sat up with my ears open. For a few moments, My heart completely stopped as I realized the knocking was not at my front door, but rather at my bedroom door. I jumped out of bed, looking around my room like a madman for something to use as a weapon. They knew I was awake now. They were trying the doorknob, trying to bust down the door. These weren't any kids. By some miracle, I came up with an idea. It was a long shot, but it was all I could think of. I turned on the receiver to my speaker system, plugged in my iPhone, brought up the YouTube app, typed in 45 gunshot sound effects, turned on the volume, and pressed play. The sound of the gunshot echoed out of the speakers. It sounded real enough. I paused the video after the first shot and yelled, "That was a warning shot. Leave now or I won't hesitate to shoot you in the head." And it worked. I heard 2 pairs of footsteps stomping over my wood floors and out the front door. I gave it a moment before opening my bedroom door and peeking outside. They were gone, but the front door was left wide open. I quickly shut it, called the police, and that's where my story ended.
So I was never really a big Halloween person, mostly because I grew up without many friends, and once I passed the age of 10, I couldn't use the excuse of going with my mom anymore. And it's not like I had friends to go with. So this last Halloween, I was 14 years old. I do have a little sister who's only 8, so my mom went trick-or-treating with her. My one really good friend, Steve, already had plans, and I didn't want to impose. So it didn't seem like I'd be trick-or-treating this year. I felt part of me explode with happiness on the inside when my mom asked me to stay home and hand out candies. Now I felt like I had a job to do that didn't involve me trick-or-treating alone like a loser. My mom left with my sister at about 6 o'clock, about an hour after she got home from work. She told me to expect her back around 9, so I was relaxing, watching the scary movie marathon, and answering the door to give candy to the kiddies. And while doing that, the phone began to ring. I remember the ringer was set so loud it actually made me jump. I picked up the phone, and the other end remained silent, except for a bit of fumbling and background noises. Sounds you'd expect when somebody's holding a phone. I said hello 5 times before the person on the other end hung up. Knew it was somebody pulling a Halloween prank call on me. What else could I do but ignore it? That worked well enough for the next few minutes of watching TV, answering the phone until the phone rang again. Same unnumber came up on the caller ID. I wanted to see where this was going, so I picked it up once more. This time I could hear a very faint breathing on the other end. "All right, Steve, I know it's you," I said into the phone. They hung up. By this point, I didn't want to get scared. I was for sure a bit uneasy. A long time before that phone rang again. It was getting later, darker, and the doorbell seemed ringing less and less. I was watching the original Friday the 13th when it happened again. The sound of that phone ringing had become sickening, as I knew who it would be, or rather, I didn't. For some reason, I gave in again and picked up. And once again, silence, other than the faint breathing and fumbling of the phone. It was like this for almost half a minute before they finally spoke in an exaggerated deep voice.
"I'll be paying you a visit tonight."
I had enough of this joke. I told them to fuck off and hang up the phone, promising myself not to pick it up again. I'd say about half an hour later, out of the blue, all the power in the house was cut. The light went out. The TV turned off. Complete darkness. I stood up, now frozen in fear, when loud and angry thumping came from the front door. I completely lost it and began screaming like a girl, but there was something coming from outside. Laughter. I recognized that laughter. I opened the door, and there he was. Stephen. I shoved him nearly down the steps out of anger. "So, that was you who made those dumb phone calls?" I asked. He nodded while laughing. "I didn't sound like you on the phone. Let me hear you do that voice again," I said. "What?" He seemed confused. "I didn't say anything, you idiot. I just called and did that heavy breathing." I thought he was lying at first. But then my heart dropped. I had him follow me to the fuse box outside. Just as I feared, it had been opened and all the wires had been snipped. I think we ran faster than any Olympic champions back into the house. I called my mom, who told us to stay inside and wait for the police, who she then called. The call was traced to a payphone outside of a nearby bar. I still wonder, was this just a dumb Halloween prank gone too far? Or was it a potential break-in, and God knows what else waiting to happen? I don't think I ever want to find out.
It was a completely normal, boring school day. I was in 7th period math, and the clock showed 2:45 p.m., which means the school day was nearly done. As it was a Friday, and spring break was just around the corner, you could feel everyone getting antsy in their seats. A lot of people had tests and whatnot, whereas my class got to have fun. We had a super laid-back teacher who loved to entertain us as much as possible. We lucked out in that sense. Me and my girlfriend Haley were messing around and whatnot, whereas my class got to have fun, which means the school day was nearly done. It was a completely normal, boring school day. I was in 7th period math, and the clock showed 2:45 p.m., which means the school day was nearly done. As it was a Friday, and spring break was just around the corner, you could feel everyone getting antsy in their seats. A lot of people had tests and whatnot, whereas my class got to have fun. We had a super laid-back teacher who loved to entertain us as much as possible. We lucked out in that sense. Me and my girlfriend Haley were messing around in the back, talking about something that occurred earlier that day. When it happened, the alarm for the lockdown went off, and the principal came over the loudspeaker. Now, for some context, typically a teacher would yell lockdown 3 times if it was a drill. We were always told if it was 4 times, it was not a drill. The reason for this was to hide the fact that we knew someone was in the building with malicious intent. 4 times we heard the word lockdown. Now, I've gotten so used to hearing it only 3 times that I paid no attention to how many times lockdown was even said. The teacher did the usual, turning off the lights, closing the door, and ushering us to the back corner of the room where we couldn't be seen from the glass on the door. Our classroom had 2 doors, one at the front and one at the back. In the midst of all the commotion, me and Haley did the one thing you should never do in a lockdown. We snuck out of the class. We were now in the hallway on the 3rd floor. Everything looked so weird. Not a single person in sight other than the 2 of us. A sort of humming noise came from the walls, indicating the school had cut all the power. I thought this was weird, as I thought it was only a drill. "Hey, why would they cut off the power if it's just a drill?" I asked. This was when we really started to question if it was actually a drill or not. But with us being stupid teenagers, we brushed it off as nothing. We continued roaming the halls when we started to hear a sound. We got really creeped out by this, as no one was supposed to be outside the class. Fearing it was a teacher, we ran into the nearest bathroom to hide. We ran into the 4th stall that was tucked into the corner and hid. We sort of just sat there, giggling, thinking we outsmarted the teacher. Maybe about 30 seconds had passed, and we started to hear the footsteps again, but this time much closer. My heart froze. You could tell it was right outside the door. At this point, we were sure we'd been caught. We kept as quiet and as still as possible, hoping not to make a sound. It was really weird though. The person outside hadn't come in yet, but they hadn't left either. If they left, we would have clearly heard their footsteps leaving. We never heard them. Haley pointed this out to me, and that's when we started taking the situation a bit more seriously. The door opened, and someone stepped in. I was about to walk out of the stall and apologize for sneaking off when Haley stopped me. She whispered to me, "Isn't it protocol for teachers to ask if there's anyone in the bathroom?" She was right. This wasn't normal teacher behavior, and that's when the heart-dropping realization hit us. Whoever was in the bathroom with us wasn't a teacher. While contemplating what to do, the silence was broken. "I know you're in there." My heart dropped as the person said that. The voice was younger, and it obviously wasn't a teacher. We were practically crying at this point, unable to hold it back. The guy was now directly in front of the stall door. He started pounding on the door and screaming like a madman. As this was happening though, I heard the door open again, followed by the familiar voice of my teacher, Mr. Taylor. "Hey, what the hell are you doing?" I heard a scuffle outside, and I immediately rushed to aid my teacher. Eventually we got the guy held down and the cops were called. Apparently, the man was an escapee from a mental asylum near the school, and thankfully, no one got hurt. I don't know if any of you guys remember a few years ago when a sort of killer clown craze shook America for a few months. Well, this all happened during that time. I always remembered me and my friends thought it was funny, and we'd always watch those clown caught on camera videos that were really popular at lunch. Although, our laughter turned into fear when we were made aware that a few of those clowns on Twitter threatened to come to our school at 11 a.m. that day and quote-unquote kill all of us. Luckily, the school picked up on this, and they sent out emails to the parents that they had scheduled a planned lockdown at 10:30 that day in response to the threats. I was sitting in history class when I heard the familiar sound of the lockdown alarm, followed by the teacher rushing to the windows and door, locking and closing them. Even though initially the threat freaked me out, I wasn't worried at this point. I reasoned that it was most likely just another blank threat online, and that nothing would happen. After about 40 minutes of silence, sitting on the cold floor in the corner of the room, the emergency green flashing light turned off, then followed by the air conditioning slowly falling silent, and then the hallway lights switched off. The school had cut the power, but why though? At this point, me and my classmates were staring at each other. We all knew that something real was going on, as the school never cut off the power unless something serious was happening. After 10 minutes or so, we could all hear a faint banging noise from down the corridor, shortly followed by heavy and fast footsteps. Someone was running down the hallway. They started banging on the lockers and screaming. At this point, a few girls started quietly crying. Just then, the most terrifying thing ever happened. One of the men, dressed as a clown, ran up to the class door, banging and screaming. Multiple people were crying now, and one of my friends whispered to me in complete seriousness, saying we were all gonna die. I have no shame in admitting that this caused me to start crying too. I then heard the loud sound of glass shattering. The man had shattered the glass part of the door, and I could see his arm reaching through to try to unlock the door from the inside. I was frozen and in complete disbelief as to what I was witnessing. But luckily, my teacher reacted quickly, grabbing a piece of shattered glass from the ground and stabbing the man's arm before he could unlock the door. He instantly grabbed his arm back, and you could hear his screams of pain. He then quickly stepped away from the door, and his screams slowly faded down the corridor. After another 2 hours, the principal came on the loudspeaker, explaining everything. He said that just after 11, 2 men walked into the school, one holding a kitchen knife. They ran around the school, threatening to kill students and trying to break into classrooms. But once the police raided the school, only one of them was caught, and it wasn't the one who tried to break into our classroom. After the whole event, the school got over 20 buses to take the younger kids home, and the kids 9th grade and over, like me, were told to walk home in groups and call the cops if we saw anything suspicious. I had a hard week at school after that experience. I was always thinking that the men would return, this time with a gun or something, but nothing happened. This, nonetheless, will be scarred into my mind forever. Ever since the lockdown, the school has hired a few more on-campus police officers, and they've installed some auto-locking features on doors and windows. This has made me feel a little bit better in school, but this isn't just an experience you can simply forget about. I live in the middle of nowhere. The school I go to has maybe 500 students in total. It's enough for everyone to know everyone's name. Regardless, this day our school went on lockdown. That familiar, yet eerie chime of our principal's voice saying to remain in our classes until further notice rang through the building over the intercoms. His voice was surprisingly calm, especially considering the fact that he didn't even say it was a drill. Despite our little town, crime isn't completely unheard of. We've had our fair share of reported break-ins, robberies, and even some gang activity. I bet it's a robber down at Chase Bank, my friend Kyle joked. I laughed, and we started talking about what we actually thought the whole lockdown was for. Kyle's voice was beginning to get louder, only interrupted by our teacher, Miss Sander herself, shushing him. It had now been about 10 minutes of complete silence, but like most high schoolers tend to, we all lost our patience. Everyone was now talking softly to whoever they were sitting next to at this point. Just then, we all heard it. Footsteps. Not just one pair, but a few walking down the hall. They all went quiet, knowing that something was wrong, and if this was a drill, it would have been just one pair of footsteps, that being the teacher checking on the classrooms. Even Kyle, who had previously been talking, grew silent. Miss Sander moved slowly to the doorway, peering out from behind a corner. The heaviness in the air was suffocating. Just then, we heard footsteps again, seemingly doing another lap around the school. The girl across the room let out a muffled sob of fear. I focused my attention on the door. I was leaning out from behind a table to peer through the window to see if I could see anything. I'm not sure what I expected to see, but whatever I was expecting, a whole lot of nothing was not it. The hallway was empty and completely dark, as it tends to be when no one was in it. The lights were all automated in my school, but just then, I noticed some of them turn on. A wave of yellow light instantly filled the room as we huddled in, casting shadows against the rows of desks. Someone somewhere tried to calm the crying girl. I could hear their own murmured voice waver. I was still looking through the door's window from a distance at this point. But of course, as I was doing this, I saw someone walk up to the window and start looking through into the room. I instantly ducked back down behind the table the whole class was hiding behind. I felt my heart beat wildly as I heard the sound of the doorknob start to shift. My vision grew static as I pulled my knees to my chest, curling up tightly in the corner of the room. The door shook as the guy banged on it repeatedly. And as he was doing this, my biggest fear came true. The door hinges gave out, and this guy proceeded to walk into the classroom. All of us went silent, praying this man wouldn't walk over to the corner of the room and see all of us hiding behind this table. About a minute passed of just this guy standing there, and we could hear someone else sprinting to the door, followed by the words, "Dude, we gotta go. The cops are already here." That's when I heard the guy start running out of the room and down the hall. The cops came, and a little later that was it. The guys who entered the school were never caught, and apparently they were armed with guns. The story goes that one of the kids at my school tweeted at a gang, essentially making fun of them the night before that school day. And of course, the gang took it very seriously and planned on raiding the school and killing the kid responsible. Luckily, they weren't successful, but this experience still terrifies me nonetheless.
Full of despair, inside a darkness, self-conscious and scared, held prisoner of war, running out of air, buried in a sadness, want a way out of this paralyzing world. In the sound of the cries when a family's loved one dies, it echoes through a vacant room where a young soul still resides. When the night is cold and you feel like no one knows what it's like to be the only one buried in this hole, you can make it to the sunrise. You can make it to the sunrise. Searching for a way to escape the madness, a dire need for change as we fight for better days. The hurt and the pain cut deep like a razor blade, holding in a cry for love, abandoned and afraid. When the night is cold
How different creepypastas react to you falling asleep on them. This is you. When I said go to sleep, I didn't mean this. Look at what. Don't tell Jeff about this. You're a lot cuter when you're not screaming. Is this what affection feels like? Good kid. My legs feel worse than Tim's. This is why you're my favorite. If you're trying to confess something here, then I hate to break it to you, I'm only into girls with daddy issues. Let me know if you want more of these.
I think, maybe. Hold on, I'll try to give it another go.
My, I think we have a start. I'm so like busy therapist, I hit the other side. I'll die, so I can satisfy. I bring myself to something, leave myself to suicide. My, I think we have a start. I'm so like busy therapist, I hit the other side. I'll die, so I can satisfy. I bring myself to something, leave myself to suicide.
Walk out on my dresser and I'm saving it for later. Look at your bills, my bills elevator. I woke up feeling fruity, guess I'm feeling like a hater. Where I come from, we can't really understand it. And this is just a secret conversation with neighbors. They do not have a gun and me put it on the table. And if you were to kick up and make another distraction, I can hit the door and be out if I am enabled. I won't be what you wanna be. Kill my friends, label me a freak. I've lost friends, but that's on me. Kill my friends, fuck the.
The truth about everybody I went to high school with. Fake as fuck. Me, the only white girl in this shit. She worked at my local Ross. JC, she was friends with all the teachers just so she could get good grades. You don't even actually look like that. The most annoying motherfucker I ever met in my life. Don't he just look annoying? I miss you, bruh. I miss you. He's in the military now. Protect us, bruh. I think she's pregnant, but very pretty. He sold brownies. Called himself Big Daddy James. Had like 7 different girlfriends. This girl was like 4'2" and could beat anybody's ass. He never knew what was going on. Yo, that's the name, the one behind it all. This card, I'm having out the mood and sleeping in the middle of a summer afternoon. This card.
You removed my what? I removed your right kidney while you were sleeping last night. No. Why are you shaking and crying and getting your tears all over my hardwood floors? That's not polite.
Aren't you just gonna take that? Or will you fucking fight back? Aren't you just gonna take that? Or will you fucking fight back? Aren't you just gonna take that? Or will you fucking fight back?
Everyone stop what you're doing and look at this baby pelican. His name is Piss, homunculus. Dude, piece of gum looking motherfucker. His soul.
Fuck.
In the mirror, I'm inside you. Let me guide you. Fuck you. Die, you son of a bitch. Put the gun down.
is worth the price I pay. I get so high when you're with me, but rest and crave you back in me.
Corrupted and such is far away. Your love's like rhinestones falling from the sky.
I heard a knock upon my door the other day. I opened it to find her staring in my face. The feel of mortal stock and still reverberates. Everywhere I go, I drag this coffin just in case.
Feeling shitty in my bed, didn't take my fucking meds. Hyper pop up in my ears, everything just disappears. Don't wanna be someone else, just don't wanna hate myself, but just don't wanna hate myself. Instead I wanna feel good.
So, what do you do if Jeff the killer is chasing you?
Run.
No, you blow him in the eyes. What's he gonna do, Blake?
I kill people I like. I don't feel sad. I don't feel anything. It's a filthy world we live in. I'm helping to take them somewhere clean and kind.
Don't you stop to sing along. Don't you know pump it up? You got to pump it up. Don't you know pump it up? You got to pump it up. Don't you know? You never told me your name.
Why do you want to know my name?
I want to know.
Support. Out of the blue, there was a glitch on the screen again, and the face of the girl that I'd seen the night before appeared again. I was really unnerved by it. I couldn't comprehend or take in what was happening. Suddenly, she said,
Help me! Help me! He will kill me!
I asked, "Who are you? Who wants to kill you?" Then I heard someone calling my name. It was my clients. "We have been calling you for the past 5 minutes. We lost you somehow. What happened?" I apologized and said, "I'm sorry. I'm not quite sure what went wrong." Then they politely greeted me and cut the call. As I stood up, I turned around, and there was a girl standing there with her head bent down, and her hair completely covered her face. She was dressed in a white frock. My heart skipped a beat at seeing her, and I was petrified. After standing there for some time, the girl slowly raised her head, and I saw that she was the same person whose face had appeared on my computer screen. I was completely taken aback by this sight, and I ran away from the room. I reached the bedroom, which was downstairs on the first floor, and bolted the door. I was leaning against the door and tried to catch my breath, but I was breathing heavily with my eyes closed. As I opened my eyes, I saw that she was standing right in front of me. I tried to open the door, but couldn't, as it was seemingly jammed. I was afraid of what would happen next. I turned around and saw that she had simply disappeared. Then she again appeared, climbing on the wall like a lizard. I completely freaked out and tried to get away, but she suddenly came towards me and lifted me off the ground, holding me by the neck. I was in midair. I couldn't breathe. I thought it was to be my last day of life, but then all of a sudden I felt myself fall to the ground. I didn't remember anything after that, but I must have hit my head as I was out for the count. When I came to, I realized I was lying on the floor. Immediately, I thought of the strange girl and recalled all that had happened. I wanted to get out of that house as fast as I could. I tried to open the door, but again, it wouldn't open. I heard weird sounds all around me. The only thing I could think to do in my state of fear was to jump out of the bedroom window, which was on the upper floor. I need to move out of that house as soon as possible and find a new apartment. The guy that had helped me said, "Of course you must leave. Everyone around that area knows the history of that house." "History? What history?" I asked. He told me that 2 years ago, a young girl had lived there as a tenant. One night, a thief had entered the house and murdered her. Since then, no one has ever stayed there longer than a week. I felt the hairs on my neck begin to rise.
It's like another.
Wait, that sounds like you. Michelle, is this you?
I made another just.
What was that? Okay, no, that's not you. The sound is similar.
Dude, this guy's alone. Dude, doing this alone is never gonna play.
Oh! Did you see it? He's gotta get the hell out of there. Don't follow him.
Don't ever follow him. I'm almost like thinking this is like real. Like,
it's like real footage, right? It's what it looks like. But apparently it's the movie.
You're gonna be in big trouble, kid. Oh, he doesn't know.
He has no clue, that's why.
Oh, man.
Oh, no.
Dude, what? I would be out of there like right away.
Bro, I do not like this.
Yo, dude.
Oh, my God. What happened to him, man? Run. Wait. What up? Unknown number.
What? What's that?
Unknown number is calling me. Why is someone calling me at 3 o'clock? Do I pick up? No, man.
No, what the hell?
Come on.
Dude,
why is someone
creepy.
calling me at 3:15 in the morning?
Probably like from a different country, like a marketer trying to say something.
What? Okay, well, anyways, yeah, let's get back to it.
Is this like a...
Wait.
Oh, he's...
Stay back.
He's still like... Taking their organs?
Yeah.
What did you say?
Yeah, I'm out.
Right.
This is not for me.
Where's this guy even going?
I don't know, man. Oh, God.
Wait, what?
Bro, I literally have chills. Why?
Something's about to happen.
Oh, do it! What the hell? Run, bro! Why is he still in here? This doesn't make any sense.
There's no sense of urgency. Get out!
Oh my god, dude.
Oh.
Somebody said stay back or something like that.
Oh my god.
No! Oh my god.
What the
hell? His face is so messed up, bro.
That's literally so creepy.
Oh no. Dude, that was. Oh! Wait, yo. Wait, what is that? Wait, what's that? Did you hear that?
Yeah, someone's in the window. Is there like a.
Maybe it was something else. Maybe.
Whoa, whoa! What the hell?
No, I'm out, bro.
What do you mean you're out?
What do you mean? Just watch the killer movie, man. What if he's outside?
Well, you gotta stay with us.
Dude, this is not safe. We need to leave right
Dude,
now. I'm
what?
going out to the
What's
back.
telling you that it's just?
We don't even know, bro.
You can't just leave, bro. We don't even know if it's Jess. Oh my god. There's no way he's seeing it
up there.
You know,
Something's like hitting the window.
well, guys, I don't know what that is, but it's clearly not something that's supposed to be here right now. What could have possibly been? It's so dark. We literally can't see anything. Hello? Wait, what the hell? Yo, it's Jess, dude. Wait, he's calling me on FaceTime, bro. Dude, he's calling you. What are you doing? What the hell? Wait, why are you calling me?
in the office. What do we do, Jesse, man? We have to get him out of here.
We have a knife. We can get a knife and just threaten him to get out.
Okay, so we gotta make a thing to do. So we gotta get to the kitchen?
Oh, crap, he's still there. Nice, you. You know I know my hide and seek. Hide and seek, dude, you think you're playing hide and seek? Okay, let's go. Wait. Jesus, turn down the hall.
Okay, we have time to get a weapon. Where? Oh my god, dude, do you think you can win a fight with Jeff the Killer?
We have a bigger knife. That's the best we can do.
Okay, so what now?
Okay. We didn't hear my bedroom door close. Okay. The only other door in there is the bathroom.
Okay.
So he's probably in there. We'll just ambush him.
Okay.
Either threaten him to get out, or we have no choice. But we're gonna have to do something.
Dude, okay. It's risky. Oh crap.
Yeah, see, look, dude, the door's closed.
Okay.
He must be in here.
Dude, he literally has to be in here.
Ready? Here.
Right. Okay, good luck.
Jeff? I know you're in there.
Oh.
What?
Yeah, make sure he's not in there. He must be somewhere else.
Got you. What, bro? Where the hell is he? Dude, that doesn't make any sense. Hello?
Oh my god.
Don't wait.
He's looking.
He should go downstairs.
Wait, why not?
Dude, there's something really bad down there.
What's down there? Dude, we gotta go see.
Holy crap, dude, this is bad. This is really bad. Oh no, dude. Oh no. Can't go in that room. What? There's something extremely dangerous in there, bro.
I'm gonna say that's the door.
He just broke the lock. Wait, come on, what's that? Get out.
I see you.
What the hell? Oh my god. No, he's running for his life. Dude. Wait, where'd he go? Where the hell did he go?
Jeff?
Go. Wait. Oh my god. Dude, he's gone. He's really running for his life.
Get in there. Get in.
What the hell, bro?
Jesse, what the hell do you have down there?
Listen, man. Look, that was the cameras. They caught him going out.
Okay, that's good. So we're safe?
Let me just let's go get Michelle. He's in the back. He says he was in the garage.
Yeah.
What did he say?
Yeah, the garage. Right there?
Come on, let's go. Should be in there.
Michelle?
Yo. Oh.
Michelle?
Open it.
Michelle?
Is he in there?
Oh my god. Dude,
what the hell?
You good?
Dude, go ahead. It's okay.
What the hell's going on?
He's gone.
Okay, he ran away.
He's running away.
He's gone. Is he here?
No. Don't.
We're safe.
He's gone. We're
What do you mean he's gone? Put down the board. He's gone, bro. He ran away. We're good.
Gone, okay?
We have entities that we speak to on a regular basis. A guy by the name of the chief. I would say the chief is the guardian of the ship. Everybody wants the chief's name.
So we should all each try to get Chief's name tonight.
That would be great, because, we've been trying for a very, very long time.
Yeah. Chief, can you tell us your name?
You really gotta be careful.
Everyone is protecting the name of what we think is the chief. Maybe we gotta place it next to its edge so it picks it up.
Whoa!
They're helpless.
Oh, we're helpless. That's way worse.
Unpleasant. My hair just got touched. Yes.
No, there is somebody sitting in that doorway.
Dude, levitating.
No, it's above.
Legit.
It's above the.
Legit. Oh, there's two of them.
Chief.
You gotta be kidding me.
That's the only name we've gotten.
Guy might have gotten it, bro.
Tell me he goes to the other.
Yeah, for that.
course, this is another episode of Beyond the Dark. Obviously, here with my boy Josh.
And now we're here in the United States now.
We're not in the UK anymore. Check out this if you haven't seen it. But back to today's video. In my face! We're also here with two special guests. You guys may have heard of them. Steve and Dylan!
What's up, guys? I'm Steve. I own Haunted Nights, paranormal event company. We go all over the country bringing people just like you to haunted locations like this. You can investigate with us. I've been investigating the paranormal for the last 13 years now.
I'm Dylan. I've been ghost hunting with Steve for the past 8 years.
We've done a couple videos with them. We met them through Sam and Colby. Really great guys. Go and check them out. You guys ready for this?
Our first time we've ever been.
Oh, for real? So here we go. We're going to get on the ship, show you around, tell you the history, because we don't know a damn thing, and it's going to be fun. Let's go. Look at him trying to do an intro. Oh, on the boat? I'm down, bro.
What Titanic thing?
I think he's gonna be, who's the guy's name?
Jack?
Yeah, Jack. I'm Jack.
You're Jack? That means you die.
Yes! Look at this ship. This thing is huge. Now guys, like the sign said, this is the world's only preserved heavy Navy carrier. And it's also ranked to be one of the top 7 most haunted naval ships in the entire world. This is the ramp to walk up. There's not even any stairs. It's just a ramp and a block of wood. The door's just open for us? It's kind of ominous. This place does look haunted.
You know, they say wall traps energy.
That's right, true. Yeah,
we've heard that a lot. In the water. This could be very interesting next tonight.
Excited.
Me too. Yo guys, taking my first steps onto the ship. This is so cool. Yo Josh, they call it the Sea Witch. More witches. I thought we left them all in the UK. No. Guys, why is it warmer in here than it is outside?
Thank God.
Oh my God, I'm screwed.
Somebody's having good vibes here. By good vibes, I mean, oh my God, something's gonna happen. Yeah. Haunted vibes.
Wait, this place is haunted?
Any place forward of like my office, I've never been comfortable. So this is the woodroom. This is where the officers ate and had meetings and stuff. You know, the ship never saw any combat, but she spent most of her time in the Mediterranean. And when she was in the Med in 1953, there was a very, very bad earthquake on 2 of the Greek islands. And since Salem was there, she was basically the hospital. They were more interested in getting people aboard and treated and off so they could bring more people. I don't think counting was a priority. The death toll ranges of about 75 to a high of 400.
Whoa, so they all died on the ship?
Yeah, they were brought aboard the ship for treatment. She was only here for about 5 years. What she was prepared for, you know what I mean? She didn't have medical supplies or food or even fresh water to sustain
that many
all those people being aboard for all that time. When she left, Boston was her home port. Instead of coming to Boston, she went to the Brooklyn Naval Shipyard for a radar upgrade. And the first night she was there, a light cruiser tied up outboard of Salem. What that means is Salem was tied up to the pier and this ship tied up to Salem. And that night there was a fire aboard the light cruiser. And they said it wasn't serious. They got it out really quickly. And as the fire control guys were securing all their gear, one of the 5-inch ammo magazines detonated.
Oh no.
And because of the design of the ship, it took most of the hospital with it. The guys that were hurt in the explosion, guys that were burned in the fire, and some guys that were already in the hospital were brought over to this ship for treatment. And 7 of those guys died aboard. A couple years later, 1956, she was on the way back to the Med, and she was with a destroyer called the John R. Pierce. And the Pierce was doing anti-aircraft drills on the trip, and my understanding is they stopped the drill for some reason or other, and when they restarted, they loaded a gun that had already been loaded. And that's bad. So, needless to say, when they fired the gun, that mount exploded.
Damn.
The guy killed outright, and they brought 5 guys aboard this ship. 3 of those guys died aboard this ship as well.
Damn.
A
lot of accidental deaths, too.
We have entities that we speak to on a regular basis. A young guy by the name of Nico, a little girl named Lucy, and Lucy's mother. The people died, not badly, not what they were expecting.
Just be more of like a traumatic experience.
A lot of emotion. Yeah, I mean, the guy Nico I was talking about, I always felt miserable after I talked to him because he was a young guy and he always told us he was looking for his family. We always enjoyed talking to him and he seemed as though he enjoyed talking to us, but you always felt lousy afterwards because there's nothing you can do for this guy. There are a number of those people. There are some sailors that we speak to on a regular basis. A guy by the name of the Chief, who used to be back aft, but we think he's in this area now. And he's kind of the guardian. He's a miserable old sailor is what he is.
Poor
What's
Chief.
his name, do you know? Or his name's just Chief?
No, we call him the Chief. You know, it's a problem. I mean, I have a crew list of about 500 names, and it's been a lot of work. But when you think the ship was active for 10 years and there was about 1,600 guys aboard, and I've tried every avenue I can to get names. And every time we get new names, we try them. So it's a numbers game. You know what I mean? And we just don't have the names.
What an intro already. I mean, pretty tragic history to start it off. Now we're going to explore the ship.
So that's the wardrobe pantry, and this
Yeah, you got me.
Top 5 ghosts caught on camera. Living doll. Over on the channel Spooky Links, a guy named Gerald investigates pretty much everything paranormal. He goes on ghost hunts, he does Ouija board sessions, and he even buys dolls off of eBay that the original owners claim are haunted.
Okay, so I did it again. I bought myself another haunted doll quote. They've been saying that there's some kind of weird, scary haunting thing going on with it. Do I believe it's actually a spirit haunting inside this doll? Probably not. I'm not quite sure what I think ghosts are, but we'll see.
To test the so-called haunted doll, Gerald decides to do an EVP session.
Just come out and say hello. Do you know that you're dead?
When he plays the recording back, things get weird.
I heard some squeaks. Listen.
Just come out and say hello.
Like it was like a weird, faint meh, 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 or something. I don't know.
Do you know that you're dead?
Okay. If you notice, I have goosebumps all over. Like, look, they're like literally, I have so much goosebumps. Yeah. I mean, I'm freaking out.
But it gets even stranger. Gerald claims that late at night, he has started to hear what sounds like the doll moving. To test this bizarre idea, he places the doll on his floor and spreads powder all around it. The idea being that if the doll moves, the powder would be disturbed. He films the doll overnight. At around 20 minutes past midnight, the doll seems to raise its head for a quick look at the camera. Since this video, Gerald has been studying and recording the doll for months, and he's caught some other truly strange occurrences.
Okay. I don't really know what's supposed to be done here. I don't know how it's supposed to react, but I really shouldn't just do this in the bathroom.
So, did Gerald catch a haunted doll on camera, or is he just pulling our strings? You decide. Over on his channel, Spooky Links, you can check out Gerald's weekly updates about the allegedly haunted doll and see his continuing investigations.
Hi, you the one that reported the suspicious person in the area?
Yes, some guy popped out of the woods, scared my daughter half to death, offered her something to go into the woods with him, and then that's when I called you guys.
Okay, do you have a description of what he looked like?
He's wearing blue overalls and a green shirt.
Don't worry, I'm going to look him and see what you do. Hey, you the clown that was scaring the kids back there?
Maybe I was, maybe I wasn't. What are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do about it? Huh? Tough guy. Huh? What? By yourself?
It's not what I'm going to do. It's what we're going to do.
Position of Chief Zala that the Dartmouth Police Department is taking a zero-tolerance stance on the recent clown craze plaguing the nation. Please keep in mind that disturbing one's peace, trespassing, and enticing of a child are arrestable offenses, and that anyone who partakes in this senseless and potentially dangerous behavior may be subject to arrest under Massachusetts general laws. Remember that if you want to act like a clown, we have no problem treating you like one.
looking out with no parachute. You know I'm dreaming about us too, playing around without a clue. Only asking you now. With us it's all or nothing. Oh, but guess I need more of you. With us it's all or nothing, but guess I need more of you. You say it through the night, but in the morning you're asleep. With us it's all or nothing. Oh, but guess I need more of you. With us it's all or nothing, but guess I need more of you. Say it through the night, but in the morning you're asleep. I know they don't know what you're all about. The way you hold my body tight, they end up talking through the night. Yeah, I know they just don't. With us, it's all or nothing. Oh, but guess I need more of you. With us, it's all or nothing. But guess I need more of you. You say it through the night, but in the morning you just sleep. I need more of.
Even though this love of ours might not have lasted, I would still walk with you to the end of the world, and then past it. Barbie, let's go party. No!
No como porquerías.
Ay, porquerías, ¿por qué? ¿Porquería yo?
Con flores, te llevaste mi tristeza con colores.
If I can't have you, no one can.
¿Qué carajos quieres?
Uy, perdón.
Ve al punto, mapache. ¿Por qué me hablaste?
Bueno, me enteré que estaba saliendo con alguien. ¿Es verdad eso?
¿Y a ti qué te importa? Después de todo lo que ha pasado, tengo derecho de renovar mi vida. No veo que hayas empezado tú.
¿Y quién dice que no la empecé?
Sí. Sí. Sí.
Top 5 ghosts caught on camera. Living doll. Over on the channel Spooky Links, a guy named Gerald investigates pretty much everything paranormal. He goes on ghost hunts, he does Ouija board sessions, and he even buys dolls off of eBay that the original owners claim are haunted.
Okay, so I did it again. I bought myself another haunted doll quote. They've been saying that there's some kind of weird, scary haunting thing going on with it. Do I believe it's actually a spirit haunting inside this doll? Probably not. I'm not quite sure what I think ghosts are, but we'll see.
To test the so-called haunted doll, Gerald decides to do an EVP session.
Just come out and say hello. Do you know that you're dead?
When he plays the recording back, things get weird.
I heard some squeaks. Listen.
Just come out and say hello.
Like it was like a weird, faint meh, 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 or something. I don't know.
Do you know that you're dead? Is there anything you want to say to anyone?
Okay. If you notice, I have goosebumps all over. Like, look. They're like literally, I have so much goosebumps. I mean, I'm freaking out.
But it gets even stranger. Gerald claims that late at night, he has started to hear what sounds like the doll moving. To test this bizarre idea, he places the doll on his floor and spreads powder all around it. The idea being that if the doll moves, the powder would be disturbed. He films the doll overnight. At around 20 minutes past midnight, the doll seems to raise its head for a quick look at the camera. Since this video, Gerald has been studying and recording the doll for months, and he's caught some other truly strange occurrences.
Okay. I don't really know what's supposed to be done here. I don't know how it's supposed to react, but I really shouldn't just do this in the bathroom.
So, did Gerald catch a haunted doll on camera, or is he just pulling our strings? You decide. Over on this channel, Spooky Links, you can check out Gerald's weekly updates about the allegedly haunted doll and see his continuing investigations.
Says that her great-grandmother was given a doll named Jolie. She was pregnant. She gave birth to a son who died when he was 3 days old. It's been said that the doll captures the souls of the boys in the family and can be made free on Judgment Day, but in order to protect them, days old. According to this story, a woman called Anna G is the latest in a line of women who have been hit by a curse. It is said that each woman of the family will have 2 children, a boy and a girl. It is one day and made a video to try to convince skeptics. Jane from Sturbridge, UK, was told that an innocuous-looking puppet had tried to strangle its owner as he lay in bed one night. She took on the doll, which looks like an elderly Victorian gentleman with white hair, glasses, and a velvet waistcoat, and put it in her basement. She then focused a camera on it. Then she left it for 3 months. When she came back to it, she got something that was definitely really spooky. The puppet was kept locked inside a glass case, but her recording found that the doll had sat up and slowly moved its operating cross until it sat up. There was no way it could have been manipulated, Jane said. She said she had never seen anything as exciting as this. We think the best word is scary. Joliet, the Soul Collector. This next toy is one of the more mysterious ones. In fact, there's so much that we don't know about it. However, it's certainly worth taking a look at, if you dare, of course. According to Hit by a Curse, it is said that each woman of the family will have 2 children, a boy and a girl. Then it is said that the son will die when he is just 3 days old. Anna says that her great-grandmother was given a doll named Joliet when she was pregnant. She gave birth to a son who died when he was 3 days old. It's been said that the doll captures the souls of the boys in the family and can be heard crying. The souls are cursed to stay inside the doll until they can be made free on Judgment Day. But in order to protect them, Joliet has to be looked after by the women who have to care for it like they would do their own children. It's pretty scary. But we have some questions, such as where are the family from? Why was the doll cursed? And have they ever tried to have more than 2 children? It's certainly a bit bewildering, and it opens up a lot of questions. It's still very spooky, though. Is it the bear or the house that's haunted? Now, this is a pretty spooky sort of video, but while we think something in it is haunted, we don't know what. You see, the film shows a white teddy bear left alone on some stairs. It's just sat there with nothing next to it to disturb it next to a toy car. But you see the bear move to its side like it is falling down. Then you see that the little toy car then goes down the stairs too. We're pretty baffled by what is going on there. Is the bear possessed by something? That's certainly feasible, but what about the car? Again, it could happen. But here is another idea. What if it's the house itself that is haunted? If it is, then we are dealing with a very specific sort of ghost. That sort of ghost is called a poltergeist. A poltergeist is a spirit that has the power to move things. The name is kind of a giveaway. Poltern is German for cause a disturbance, while Geist is German for spirit. They are often believed to be the spirits who are angry because they belong to people who died young. But we hope that you aren't going to encounter any malicious ghosts. By the way, did you know that teddies are named in honor of former American President Theodore Roosevelt? He was a renowned hunter who spared the life of a baby bear, and so the toys are named after him. Pennywise in doll form? Anyone who's seen it will know that clowns are just inherently spooky. Whether it's the 1990 miniseries or the 2017 hit horror movie, Pennywise the Dancing Clown is one of the scariest characters in popular culture. So whoever came up with this doll, well, it's pretty horrifying. We have no idea whether it's actually haunted or not, but we can't think anyone would have actually designed this. It's something we can't really think is exactly suitable for children. Just look at it. It actually looks like a miniature version of Pennywise. It's got the jagged teeth, it's It's got the white makeup, and it's got the shock of red hair. Just looking at it gives us the shivers. We are worried that it is going to invite us down to the sewers so it can feed off our greatest fears. By the way, did you know that Stephen King created Pennywise as an update of the classic children's story, The Billy Goat's Gruff? That's right, the scary clown creature is a modern update of the troll, and rather than cross the bridge, the children walk above the sewers. The author says that he was also inspired by the library in Stratford, Connecticut. There was a corridor between the adults and children's section, which reminded him of the bridge. But what we'd like to know is who you think the scariest horror character is. And that's all for our 10 haunted toys caught on camera. If you liked it, be sure to check out 10 amazing pictures.
Hi, you the one that reported the suspicious person in the area?
Yes, some guy popped out of the woods, scared my daughter half to death, offered her something to go into the woods with him, and then that's when I called you guys.
Okay, do you have a description of what he looked like?
He's wearing blue overalls and a green shirt.
Don't worry, I'm gonna look him and see what you do. Hey, you the clown that was scaring the kids back there?
Maybe I was, maybe I wasn't. What are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do about it? Huh? Tough guy. Huh? What? By yourself?
It's not what I'm gonna do, it's what we're gonna do.
Position of Chief Zala that the Dartmouth Police Department is taking a zero-tolerance stance on the recent clown craze plaguing the nation. Please keep in mind that disturbing one's peace, trespassing, and enticing of a child are arrestable offenses, and that anyone who partakes in this senseless and potentially dangerous behavior may be subject to arrest under Massachusetts general laws. Remember that if you want to act like a clown, we have no problem treating you like one.
My heart is pounding, yeah, you got me.
Sighed with relief. The bad news is that your brother has been killed by something. I'm sorry. My parents took me back to Edwin's house to collect my remaining belongings, which I did. Upon entering my room, I was scared but remained calm. I grabbed my camera, then stopped dead in my tracks. In the hallway leading to my room, I saw Edwin's body and something small laying next to it. I picked